Hello, everybody. Today we will visit the Earth's cosmic traveling companion, the Moon. The Moon is the closest world to our own. Its average distance is 238,000 miles. This is the same distance as 60 Earths placed side by side. The Moon travels in an elliptical orbit at a speed of 636 miles per second around the Earth. When the Moon is at its closest point, called perigee, its distance is 225,000 miles. When the Moon is at its furthest point, called apogee, its distance is 252,000 miles. As the Moon orbits, it keeps the same side facing the Earth. This is called synchronous rotation. There are two moons, the near side, the face we see, and the far side, the face we don't see. The Moon circles the Earth in an orbit that is 5.14 degrees offset from the Earth's solar orbit. A new moon is when the Moon is directly in front of the Sun. When the Moon is between a new moon and the first quarter moon, this moon phase is called a waxing crescent. The first quarter is when the right half of the Moon's surface is lighted by the Sun. When the Moon is between the first quarter and the full moon, this phase is called a waxing gibbous. The full moon is when the Moon is directly behind the Earth and the Sun completely illuminates its surface. When the Moon is between the full moon and the last quarter, its phase is called a waning gibbous. The last quarter is when the left half of the Moon's surface is lighted by the Sun. When the Moon is between the last quarter and a new moon, its phase is called a waning crescent. And we return to a new moon, which takes 29.5 days. The Moon is the fifth largest satellite in the solar system. The largest moon is Ganymede, a satellite of Jupiter. Next is Titan, a satellite of Saturn. The third largest moon is Callisto, a satellite of Jupiter. Then there is Io, another satellite of Jupiter. The Moon is about 1/4 the size of the Earth and is the largest satellite relative to its host planet. The Moon has a mass of only 1.23% of the Earth's. It would take 80 moons to equal the mass of the Earth. This means an object that weighs 100 pounds on the Earth would only weigh 16.5 pounds on the Moon. The Moon has a distinct crust, mantle, and core. The crust is 60 kilometers on the near side and 100 kilometers on the far side. Under the crust is the mantle, which is 1,200 kilometers thick. The lower mantle surrounds the core and is partially molten boundary, 150 kilometers wide. The core is the smallest of any known and is only 25% of the radius of the Moon. The core has two parts, a fluid outer core, primarily of liquid iron with a radius of 330 kilometers, and a solid iron-rich inner core with a radius of 240 kilometers. That's all we have time for.